So the movie God's Not Dead just recently came out. So having said that, I decided to take it upon myself to critique this trailer that they've got on the website here. So let's take a look.
All this stuff is temporary. Money, success, even life is temporary.
Well, for starters, if life is temporary, of course all the things within life are temporary.
Jesus, that's eternal.
And that's it?
That's it. That's what we're going with.
Well, sorry, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
I'm Professor Radisson. This semester I propose that we refuse to waste our limited time together debating the existence of the big man in the sky. Fill in the papers I've just given you with 3 little words. God is dead.
Well, for something to be dead, it would have to be alive. And in the past 2,000 years, we haven't demonstrated that it's been alive. So, no, he's not dead. He just isn't.
I can't do what you want. I'm a Christian.
The answer's simple. Drop the class.
Like it's something that God wants me to do. I can't just turn away from it.
How do you know what he wants? How does he speak to you? Did you hear this audibly, or is this just what you want to do?
If you cannot bring yourself to admit that God is dead, then you will need to defend the antithesis.
Okay, this whole thing is a straw man from the beginning. The way they word it is perfectly set up so he can refute it in such a ridiculous way.
You're here because that voice inside you isn't happy with the choices everyone else wants you to make. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Do you think you're smarter than me, Wheaton? Do you think there's any argument you can make that I won't have an answer for?
This is a terrible portrayal of a non-believer. There are plenty of men and women smarter than I, smarter than all of us, that have been believers. It's always they use their intellect for everything else in the world, and then when it comes to faith, they're just incredibly duped. So whether or not you believe isn't necessarily based off of how smart you are.
In that classroom, there is a God, and yet I'm him.
They set the whole argument up that he is angry at God instead of just not believing, because there's no evidence.
God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the...
I think you're here kind of hoping that this stuff is for real.
To me, he's not dead. He's alive.
Oh, to you he's not dead. To me, Zeus isn't dead, he's alive.
What I want is for them to make their own choice. That's what God wants.
You just want to ensnare them in your primitive superstition.
Let's not ignore the fact that this movie seems to portray Christianity as a minority group, when most people that don't even identify themselves as Christians identify as a theist. So this is an over-exaggerated underdog story.
Science supports his existence. You know the truth. So why do you hate him? Why?
100% false. Science does not support him. And if you could prove that it did, you would have a Nobel Prize. Might add, the concept of science didn't even exist when the Bible was written. So how could it coincide with something that didn't even exist at the time?
Do you hate God?
So the next obvious question is, how could you hate something you don't believe in? Why would an atheist say God's dead or hate God? Then he's not an atheist at all. He's just portrayed as a person with an unstable mind, and he's crazy. So here in the near future, I may honestly go see it just, see what it's like. But all in all, this looks like a bunch of junk. Sorry.